Happy Monday, everybody. I hope you're all doing beautifully today. We're going to dive right into our Astrology 101, Part 2. Last week, or last podcast, I don't know if it was a week or 2 weeks ago, that I posted the first little podcast with Aries, Taurus, and Gemini, and I explained about the zodiac and astrology, the roots of the words, and their definition. So if you weren't there for that, go ahead and take a listen back. This podcast is going to be a little different. If you guys notice, I did have to go on YouTube and post that one up because SoundCloud has some amazing copyright laws, and they were protecting Telepop Music's music, even though I gave them credit, of course, but they still was unable to use it in for SoundCloud. So unfortunately, that one is on YouTube. My YouTube channel is The Feminine Medicine on YouTube. So this week we're going to talk about Cancer, Leo, and Virgo. But before we get into Cancer, Leo, and Virgo, there's one more little chunk. There's many chunks to the astrology realm, and this talking with the stars and all of these definitions and whatnot. But what I want to talk about is quadruplicies and what a quadruplicy is, and every sign has one, and they matter, of course, like everything else. So the cardinal signs are Aries, Cancer, Capricorn, and Libra. They're the season starters. So if you think about like springtime, summertime, wintertime, and autumn time, around those times are those birthdays like Capricorn, Libra, Cancer, and Aries birthdays. They're the initiators, the season starters. They're really outgoing. They get things going. They are really good at just starting projects. Fig signs are Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, and Aquarius. They're the middle signs. They're the signs that are more the stabilizers. They are really good at keeping what's going, stabilized, maintaining it, keeping the flow going. They're the perfecters and the finishers, and they tie up loose ends. So anything that needs to be, like anything on the outskirts that is just like in a restaurant, let's say, if there's a restaurant functioning and there's just somebody or someone's job is not getting done correctly and it's slowing down the whole team, they're going to be like the manager to go in there and kind of fix it up there. That's kind of like a loose end that needs to be tied up for the team to kind of be operating at their best. And the last is mutable signs. They're the season enders. They're very flexible. They're very versatile and adaptable. They can kind of go with anything, but they adapt, which is the most important thing. And they're the time of the seasons that are ending. So Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, Pisces. Those are the signs for mutable. And I also wanted to talk about the elements. Again, what the elements are. There's fire, earth, air, and water. Each sign has their own element that they work with, and each element means something different. So fire is more, they're very active, they're very enthusiastic signs. And just another little bonus, because I do read tarot, the fire element in the tarot are swords. So when you see a swords card, it's usually like a boost of movement, a boost of creativity, a boost of activeness, something exciting, something new. Movement is happening, activeness. Earth is practical and stable energy, of course. They're very rooted in, they're very grounded. Earth signs are very good at stabilizing just about anything. That's what they do. They bring it to ground and they make it into physical. And in Earth, in the tarot, the pentacles, so money and finance, that's represented in the tarot deck. Air signs are more the intellectual and communicative signs, so they're more communications and working with technology and the sparking of it and just the movement of it. Just air, very movement, lots of movement. And the air in the tarot are swords. Oh, I said swords for fire. I meant the wands. Wands are fire in the tarot deck, and swords are air. So whenever you see an air card pop up, it usually is something in the mental realm going on, something that is either a communication block or something that's communication based, something that's mentally based, like a mental trap, or etc. Something like that. Water, last but definitely not least, is the emotional and intuitive element. So this is where we get into our emotional body. It's where we discover our inner world and our intuitiveness, following our inner self and understanding our inner self and what that exactly is. And water represented in the tarot are cups. So when you get a card with cups, it mostly has to do with the emotional realm, the emotional body, the way your emotions are controlling a certain situation, a lot with love, a lot with not just relationships with romance, but platonic. Anything that has to do with your emotions will be affected. Definitely a lot to do also with health and keeping ourself healthy and healing. Cups are always a very healing card and very nurturing card as well. But tarot is a completely another podcast. I just wanted to give that to you guys for a little bonus. And another thing I wasn't mentioning before was the masculine or feminine energy that the sign carries, because each sign carries one. And I didn't mention before, so Aries is a masculine energy, dominant. Taurus is feminine. And Gemini, which is extremely, some people will say Gemini is masculine, but a lot of energy says that Gemini is hermaphroditic, and that is just based on your perception. I like to think, not like to think, but the way that I feel like Gemini is completely, it does not dominate one energy over the other. I mean, it can be a bit of a dominating energy, but I do not think that it is more masculine than feminine, in my personal opinion. But everyone's opinion is different. So moving on to our signs today. First, we're starting with Cancer. Cancer is a water sign, and she is feminine, and she is cardinal. So she's a season starter. She kind of starts the summer off, and that is her realm. She rules the house 4 of home and family. She's the ruler of the moon. So the moon, some people call the moon a planet, but in astrology we call it a luminary, and a luminary is what traditional astrologers called the 2 astrological planets, most important and brightest objects in the heavens, which would be the sun and the moon. And another definition I looked up, which was cute, luminary also is a source of light, but luminary also a person who inspires or influences others, especially one prominent in a sphere, so like a realm of any type, and just reflects us because we are the stars. Anywho, back to Cancer. Her ruling the moon, she rules the moon, so she's a very powerful sign. She's very watery, she's with the ocean, she moves with the tides, very flowy, very intuitive, very artistic. I think of Cancer more as like not so much of a open sign as the other water signs. Not that Scorpio is completely open. There's many levels to Scorpio, but Pisces, I feel that they are more open. Cancer, their archetype is the crab, so that also can make sense. They'll get close, they'll run away, they'll get close, they'll run away, and such. She rules the part of the body that Cancer rules is the chest, the breasts. So, the woman, that part of nurture, of feeding the young. The breasts are there to create nutrient things for the offspring. The energy is very intuitive, nurturing. It can be moody and particular. And that comes in a good way and a bad way. Cancer just knows themselves. They're extremely creative, and their provider energy, it's like mother, moon, and they rule the house of family, so always going to make sure that family is taken care of and that their family is provided for. And that's always going to be something that is important to them, their family. They are, I believe, a more grounded water sign in a sense, but can still be illusory. I mean, they rule the moon, so it can still be a little bit of illusion going on, and I feel like Cancers benefit a lot from doing shadow work, just like anybody. But Cancer in particular, because the moon works with shadow work, and a lot of majesties can be had with your Cancerian energy and the moon and tuning in. So that is pretty much Cancer. Cancer, water sign, as I said, can be moody, very particular, but to their own beat of their drum. You gotta love them because they're honest and they can be blunt. But it's the best because it is the most honest. And they love very strongly. And they're very sweet. Leo is next. Leo, our next sign is right after the moon. I'll just say that. And Leo rules the sun. So, again, another luminary. And Leo is masculine. And Leo is fixed. So Leo is more of a stabilizer, is more of a maintainer. He's the ruler of House 5, House of Passion, House of Pleasure, and Leo rules the heart in the body, in the upper back area, like the aorta, the main artery in the body. Hot, passionate, and extremely determined, this sign. Leo knows himself. Leo is the sign, not the sign, but the sun is like ego. It's me. It's how you shine. It's how you appear. It's how you represent. And they're extremely loving sign. I mean, the heart, they rule the heart. So they're all about anything fun, anything full of action, anything hot. Another fire sign. So it has to be exciting. They adore to be needed and of service. Leo energy is just like I am here and I'm proud to be here and I'm proud to be able to shine my face and to show up today. That is the sun. And Leo energy, think about it, when the sun comes up in the morning and it's just here to do its job and warm and be of service. The archetype is the lion, the king of the jungle. So very protective, very strong energy. You always feel Leo's presence when they're in the room because it's just a very strong presence, and they're usually very loud. Leos usually are not quiet people most of the time. Most fire signs aren't. Anywho's, yeah, so their aura is extremely bright and magnetic. Just naturally, they attract people because they are so happy, so loud. They're the sun. Everyone wants to be around them. They're a good time. They're fun people to have around in they have an uplifting energy and a creative energy, and it's fun. It's just like, yeah, just good stuff. Obviously, Leo's a fire sign, so they can flare up quick. Leo's a quick sign to flare up and get angry, but as quick as they are to get angry, they are as quick to get just as happy. In my opinion, Leo is the most quick switch sign, in my opinion, but the most quick to, and not to hold grudges, unless it gets ugly. But moving on. They love to be creative and physical. Creativity combined with physical energy with the sign is even better, because just naturally fire signs should be working their physical bodies. It's important because just their fire energy, it creates a lot of physical tension in the body. It's a lot of movement, creativity in any way, exercise, need to move. Whenever a fire sign is upset or feels stifled or feels anxious, they should go for a walk. They should do some type of light exercise or yoga, a bike ride, something physical, and most of the time they will feel that released out of the body. And for fire signs, that is the most helpful and most instant thing for something to be released, which is why a lot of fire signs tend to have some anger issues and can punch holes in the walls, because that's like a quick release. But the positive side of that would be to go outside and go for a run instead, etc. Cardio, very recommended for Leos. Cardio works the heart, Leo. You see the connection? Virgo. Next. Oh, Virgo. And this is beautiful because we still have this beautiful full moon Virgo Piscean energy working in on us, and it's beautiful. It's very healing, it's very grounding, it's very feminine, it's very peaceful, it's very flow, and I'm loving it. Very appreciative to experience. So Virgo is feminine, and she's mutable, so she's the adaptable, season ender sign, can kind of work with anything, but can get it done. She's the ruler of house number 6, which is the house of health and wellness, and she rules the nervous system in the body. She is a co-ruler of Mercury along with Gemini, and that is the planet of the mind, intellect, and communication. The element is earth, and the archetype is the Virgin. So Virgo, very grounded sign, root chakra, very earth grounded, very vocal sign. Another thing I did not get into with this is chakras, but I'm going to have another podcast that explains the chakras more, so you can see what sign associates itself with what chakra and how it can work. You can tie that in and such. Sorry, my words are quite jumbled. This full moon has me all over the place. So yes, Virgo is the Virgin. She represents the Virgin. She is the goddess, the mother, the nutrients that nourishes the garden, creating both beauty and abundance. Like I said, in tarot, Virgo specifically is the Empress, but in the Pentacles cards, they are about fruition, about money, about creating beauty and abundance and growing and sowing seeds and doing the right things for them to grow and maintaining it in the perfect way that it needs to, in that Virgoian way, that rhythm that Virgo has that just works perfectly for Virgo and creates such a beautiful display. She's the nutrients flowing from mother to fetus to enable secure and healthy life. So she's that adaptableness. Virgo is a grounding energy, enjoying the rhythm and sound of buzzing work and excitement in pursuits. Virgo does not like to be bored. Virgo does not like to have a thing to do. Virgo does not like to just sit and not be doing something. Very like Mercury, very spirit, like sign of electric, sign of movement, sign of things going on, ideas, always something going on with Virgo. And they love to be involved in the projects that are thriving, and they're usually ahead of the team, or they're the ones behind it, like maintaining the project. They're the ones that are keeping the flow smooth, and the ones that are freaking out in the backgrounds when something isn't running for a second, and then they're good again in another second. Credit to you Virgos for handling so much. They can, and because of their perfectionism, their greatness, and their display to be just so studious and look so well represented, and every wrinkle unwrinkled and ironed, they can take on this and embody this worrisome and hypochondriac energy. Like, one little thing will happen and they will freak out because they think that the sky is falling because one little hair is out of place, but everything is always fine when they just let it be and stop that worrying, because worrying creates stress and the nervous system, like stress and what you're feeling and calming down necessary. Virgo, a step, just take a breath. Or is great for the throat chakra, and a great release for Virgo when they're stressed or just in that caught up moment of and they just have this pressure to have everything perfect at all and most times, which is not bad, but it can be, like I said, it can be bad on their health and on their nervous system. So it needs to be relaxed. It needs to be maintained. They're very organized and analytical sign. Again, that works to their favor in their job and in their way of life. It is what they strive at. And they strive at planning and arranging events and prioritizing. And they are the roots, that stable foundation in most circumstances. They love to care for others, and especially those that prove their worth, as well as loved ones, people in their family. They work very hard for them because that is their team, and their friends, people that have been there for them and shown their support. They are outstanding with that, and especially the thing with Virgo. Virgos can hold grudges. A lot of earth signs can hold grudges because it's that grounded energy. It's just like, you did this, and it's a boulder there, and I don't want to move it because I'm comfortable with the boulder there. And it's too much work to let you back in. But love always wins at the end of the day, and alignment. When it's supposed to happen, it will happen. Like, for example, one of my good friends is a Virgo, and I was a bad friend for a while, and I did not keep in touch with her, and she was a beautiful friend to me, and always was there for me, and always positive, and in such great light for me. So when she told me that I was a bad friend and I didn't care about her, or she thought I didn't care about her because of the way I was acting and it was hurting her, and she didn't want to be my friend anymore, I was hurt, of course, but it was a big slap, look in the mirror. I needed to see how I was treating people, and I felt so terrible because I was so wrapped up in what I was doing that I did not say sorry or ask her how she was doing. And she held a grudge for a little while, but something with my health popped up, and she came around and asked how I was. And you see how that happens with health. Virgo cares, Virgo loves, and Virgo is not a hateful sign. There's no hateful signs, but grudges can be involved. Anywho, that is the podcast. Very flowy today. No music. This is why I like having music in the background. It kind of keeps me on topic. But this is Pisces, Scorpio today, moon, So just letting it flow openly as we need to. I hope this is helpful for you guys. If you guys have any comments, questions, concerns, feedback, criticisms, I am happy always to hear them. Go ahead and shoot me a DM, a comment on this, an email, stephanierosa.contact@gmail.com. Have a beautiful afternoon. Have a beautiful day. Have a beautiful rest of this Pisces season. Aries season is coming up quick. And the next time we speak, we will be talking about the amazing Libra, Scorpio, and Sagittarius. A couple of my favorite signs. We're getting to my favorite side. Not that I favor any side, but I do have a thing for the winter signs and the fall signs. But yes, that will be our next topic. Hope you're excited. Again, have a beautiful day. Love you guys. One love. Peace.